Hello and welcome to another Ask Me Monday, sipping on my licorice tea, which is the size of my head, this mug, and I love it. 1 liter fits in there, it's incredible. You should try licorice tea, it's so sweet naturally. Whew, let's just dive right into your questions. Hi, vegans, what do you wash your fruits and veggies with? I have to admit, I don't wash my fruits and veggies at all. You can convince me down below that I should do it, but I don't really see a reason because the tap water in Berlin is not that clean, and using the reverse osmosis water, you know, the tap, it runs out slowly and you have to wash it long, that it actually has a benefit to get rid of some pesticides, and the water should be warm. Our reverse osmosis water isn't warm, so I don't do it at all. If you think I should, convince me down below. Can you make a Q&A about cell phone radiation? Guess what? I just made a post about it today at Vegan Strengths, and I encourage you to check it out. But in short, don't you worry, the radiation is really low, and most concerns is holding the phone to your head, and even then only for long calls like over 60 minutes there is a potential downside, a risk. But to have an even lower risk factor, use Bluetooth headphones like this. Video is not sponsored by Apple, but the AirPods, they're expensive, but I love them, and you can listen to your music, to your podcast, to your YouTube, to everything, and you can call with them as well. But for more and all the sources, check out the post, I link to you down below. Can you talk about proper intensity in the gym? I always feel like I didn't do anything, or I am about to pass out from exertion. I don't know, the first half of the sentence, didn't do anything. P.S. I do full body workouts every other day. So about intensity, I'm planning on do more training videos, which I talked about in this vlog up here, and I will address in one of those videos intensity. I think I will dedicate an entire video about intensity, so subscribe for the video and more great content to come. But in short, intensity is an important factor. Intensity doesn't mean how intense you train, how much you sweat, how exhausting the training was. That is not intensity. Intensity is how heavy the training, how heavy you train. You measure your intensity, for example, by your 1 rep max. You can bench press 1 rep with 100 kilograms, and then if you bench press 80 kilograms, you're training with an intensity of 80%. And you shouldn't train until muscle failure. I hardly recommend it, only for the last exercises, for isolated exercise like for biceps curls or triceps push down. No worries, you can train until failure, but please don't train until failure for the compound exercises, because first of all, the form suffers so much. When you train until failure, you just want to press it up, and the risk of injury is so much greater. That's how most people get injured in the gym, and they just cannot press the barbell up anymore, and they lay there and they hurt themselves, and the form suffers, and the shoulders start to hurt, the elbows start to hurt, the knee starts to hurt, something just pops, and also your central nervous system. Because what many people don't get, you let your muscles rest, like you train upper body and lower body. So on the other day you train lower body, your upper body can heal and recover, but your central nervous system has to be on point every single training. And often when you train until failure, you put so much stress on your central nervous system that there is not enough time for the next training, that it can recover. And then often people get a brain fog, they have low energy, they don't have motivation anymore, they don't want to go to the gym, they feel just low, they need tons of stimulants, and that is that your central nervous system is overtrained and you need a deload. But I'm starting to get into that now a lot, so I keep that for the intensity videos, so make sure to subscribe and ring the bell for the training videos. What do you think about backyard eggs? For example, my colleague owns a couple of hens and treats them just like any other pet. Would that be okay on a vegan diet, putting aside the health factor? Why would you put aside the health factor when this factor is so important? Because eggs are the highest food in cholesterol. They are not legally allowed to classify as safe anymore or as healthy, because they're not. So why would you put aside the health factor? Because they're really not healthy to consume. And if you want to know more about it, check out this post, which I also will link you down below. But if you set it aside, which I don't get why, because yeah, it is a really important factor, because you could potentially die in a couple of decades because of this consumption, eating eggs every day. But if we put the health factor aside, it would be still an exploitative relationship, because you're using the hens for their eggs. You treat them well and you pet them and whatever, but you still take something away from them. And the chances are really high that the hens, where they came from, is from factory farms, from breeders. And if you buy those hens, they will just increase the demand or keep the demand at the high level that it is right now. So you're supporting the system in this way too. But overall, if you just love to eat eggs, then this is, I think, certainly for now the best way to do it. In the future, an even better way is clean eggs or cultured eggs, which are out of the petri dish. But for now, I think this is if you want to consume eggs, I think this is the most ethical and most vegan, well, it's not vegan, but the most ethical way to get eggs. And yeah, if you really can't live without eggs, I think that's the way to do it. But why do you want eggs? It's really unhealthy for you. So that's my thoughts about it. What do you think about Dr. Valter Longo and Dr. Rhobda Patrick? Sorry, I butchered your name, but I don't know how to pronounce it right. They describe their thinking and logic of consuming certain animal products. What is your opinion on their work? Thanks ahead. I'm sorry, I have to pass on this one because I don't know them. Or are those who talk about fasting a lot? I could be wrong, but I think I don't know them. So send me some videos down below where they talk about which animal products are allegedly healthy, and I gladly talk about it. I started eating whole food plant-based, and since I've started, I've gained around 6 pounds. I'm still a healthy weight, and I used to eat hardly anything before going vegan. Do I need to watch calories? I use the daily dozen as my guideline, or is my body just finding its balance? I think your body is just finding its balance, because 6 pounds are not much, and your weight mostly always fluctuates a bit. For me it's the same, and it always goes a bit up, a bit down. But 6 pounds, it's not much at all. And you said before you went vegan you hardly ate anything, so that means you were probably underweight, and now you find your healthy natural weight thanks to a plant-based diet. So don't worry about it. A healthy weight is great, and if you have a bit of fat on your body, that's healthy too, just not too much of it. So don't you worry. Is it important to take B12 at the same time every day? Or we can take it one day in the morning, another in the evening, etc. You are right, you can take it whenever you want, just don't forget about it. That's the most important thing. Why I recommend maybe taking it at the same time, that you have a routine and don't forget it. But when you take it, it's really up to you. It doesn't make a difference. It's a water-soluble vitamin. That means you can eat it on an empty stomach and you will just digest it fine and absorb it fine. So you can really take it whenever you want. I would just recommend making a habit out of it. And my habit is just taking it before I go to sleep. I have this habit that either before or after I brush my teeth, I always drink a sip or half a glass of water before I go to bed. And when I drink that, I take my vitamin B12, my vitamin D, my vegan omega-3, and that is my habit in the evening. And the great thing about my habit is that when I forget one day, I have this tray, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I see, oh, today is Wednesday and Tuesday is still full, so then I just take both. But it really doesn't matter if you forget it one day or a couple of days. You just should try to take it every day. And if you miss a couple of days, no worries. But if you take it most of the days out of the year, and also you can also take higher dosages, which you only have to take once per week. But for me, taking it once per week is harder to remember than doing something every day, so I prefer smaller dosages and just take it every day because it's an easier habit for me to keep. And also every day a low dosage gets better absorbed than a huge huge dosage, which a lot of that gets peed out. Hey Ferdinand, could you talk about Carob? Do you get acne from it? Is it healthier than cacao? And how does it taste? Awesome content that you provide there. Thank you so much. So let's talk about Carob. I also made a post about comparing Carob to cacao at Vegan Strength. Let me pull it up. Here it is. Carob and cacao both fit greatly into a healthy diet. Cacao is very fatty and Carob contains virtually no fat. Cacao contains little caffeine, whereas Carob is caffeine free. Both are really rich in essential nutrients, e.g. most minerals. Here I have a comparison of many minerals and some vitamins and stuff. And you see, I would say cacao powder is even, now the light just turned so low. That is, when I record here in my kitchen with natural lighting, it always shifts the light from really bright to dark, and yeah, I hope you don't mind because I so much prefer the natural lighting than doing it in a dark room. I mean in a closed window room, I mean a sealed window room with artificial lights. I much more prefer the natural lighting, but it just shifts. But this is natural too. I think you don't mind. Let me know if you do, but I think you don't, and I won't change it. So, my point. I think cacao, or I'm quite sure, yeah, it is. Cacao powder is, well, they're both healthy, but cacao powder is richer in nutrients. But the downside about cacao is the cacao butter, which is unfortunately high in saturated fats. But cacao powder, most of the saturated fats, they are stripped away and you're left with the powder, so it's low in saturated fats and really rich in minerals, as you can see here. It's crazy. So cacao and Carob are both are healthy, but cacao powder I would say is even healthier. But the downside is that can worsen your acne. Here, cited a double-blind placebo-controlled study which found out that the consumption of cacao may cause an increase in acne to acne-prone individuals. Now, I myself am prone to acne, and when I consume a lot of cacao, my acne does get worse. I hate it. I was hoping like, no, this can't be real. I tried not to eat cacao and my skin did clear up, and I introduced cacao back into my diet. My skin got worse. That is, and then I tried just a bit of cacao, but I still got more pimples in my face and on my back. So for me, I just leave the cacao out, but not because it's not healthy. No, it's really healthy, just a cosmetic issue that I want less pimples. But for Scorpio Mind, for example, she isn't prone to acne and she eats all the cacao she wants and her skin doesn't get worse. So for her it's not a problem and she can still enjoy that chocolate, and I'm so jealous. But I just care a lot about how many pimples I have, because I want to be a great example for veganism, that because I got rid of my acne and I want the best clear I could have, and just ditching cacao is not a big issue. Well, is it a big issue? No. It's just so good, the flavor, but I don't miss it that much because the Blend Kingdom offers so many flavors like Carob. Now you ask, how does Carob taste? I say it here. Carob's flavor is nutty and sweet, while cacao has a smoother, bitter flavor that is closer to that of chocolate. For using in recipes, if you're looking for that rich, chocolatey taste, use cacao and save the Carob as an addition to smoothies or add it to your oatmeals. Because the cacao, it is much higher in fat and it has this rich, bitter, chocolatey flavor, and if you combine that with something sweet, that is chocolate, that is so good. So if you want that flavor, then you need to take cacao. And Carob tastes similar, only a bit, because it has almost no fat. That's why it doesn't taste that rich, but it tastes sweet. It tastes sweet and nutty, and I like it a lot in my ice cream, in my muesli, in my porridge, in my smoothies, and it just adds a nutty, sweet flavor, but don't expect this bitter chocolate rich flavor, you're not going to get that. So they're both healthy, but if you're prone to acne, then try to ditch cacao for a couple of weeks and see if it makes a difference. And if it does, then just ask yourself, what is more important? Cosmetic, how you look, less pimples, or enjoying cacao, which is healthy for you, but there's nothing essential in it which you can cover with other foods. So then it's up to you. Whew, okay, I stop here. So I'm so looking forward for your new questions down below. Get your broccoli merch at vegansavage.com. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Ring the bell to not miss another video. Thumbs up. Really would appreciate that. That makes me happy. A happy boy. I hit the gym now. I can't wait. Upper body training after my Ask Me Mondays. I'm always so pumped up and eager, and I cannot wait for the trainings videos which will come probably really soon. And yeah, the content on this channel is just insane. What I have planned, what I will do, pumping out videos every day. It's just great. You don't want to miss that. Go subscribe. You won't regret it. Trust me. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace. Out.